Hello and welcome to Take Note with Polly. This first video, I wanted to let you know how I arrived here and where I'm coming from. My name is Polly Campbell. I've been a long-time writer, and by long time I mean like many of you, I started when I was a kid. I knew that I was going to be a professional writer, and that career has taken many incarnations over the years. I wrote for community newspapers. I wrote for the large state newspaper. I've worked briefly in public relations, writing press releases. And for the last many years, I've worked as a freelance writer, writing press releases and brochures and content for websites and thousands of magazine articles and speeches and presentations and Google slideshows and all of that kind of stuff before moving into being an author of 4 personal development books. And I'm working on fiction now. I also teach regularly at writers' conferences and online and all sorts of things. And you can find my podcast called Simply Write with Paul Campbell and my Substack at simplywrite.substack.com. And all things edge back around to writing by hand in notebooks. I carry around notebooks everywhere. I think I first got enthralled with notebooks after reading Harriet the Spy, right? When we were kids, remember that book? I didn't write those kind of things, but I always had a diary and I always had little pocket notebooks laying around. You could find these at the store and the grocery store. Remember, they always had that little stationery aisle. Well, I would get myself invited to go grocery shopping with my mother, which I hated to do. But every once in a while, I could convince her to buy me a little memo book. I still use them today. These 2 smaller ones contain my reading list. Now, I also keep notes on the phone, right? I don't do much writing on my smartphone, but I have plenty of notes to myself, plenty of recordings, plenty of lists. But really, when it comes down to it, if I have a chance to work in my everyday carry traveler's notebook, or this is the standard size where I keep my planner and my daily schedule, I'm going to take it. I'm a notebook fiend and a notebook fan, and there's just something grounding about getting the words on the page, about feeling here's a funky lake from Estabrook, about getting the words on the page. And I love a good big pen. I love affordable fountain pen. I mean, I'd love, one of those $5,000 pens, but that's not where I'm at right now. Right now, for me, notebooking and writing is very practical, very minimal. It's got to get the job done. We have a daughter in college. I'm working full time as a writer, running the household. I have a bunch of things going on in my life, and I'm not one of those journalists yet that sits down and does the great collaging you'll see in some of these notebooks, although they're beautiful, and I love to watch that happen. For me, no, it's got to be practical notebook use. You can see my calendar here. It's got to be practical places to put my notes. This is a sterling ink paper that I can write my notes in the back of my notebook. And that's what I use my notebooks for. And so I'm going to share that with you here. On this channel, we're going to talk about some of my favorite tools, things I'm trying out and don't like so much, things that I love. We're also going to talk about how I use notebooks in my daily life as a writer. They all have a certain role to play when it comes to developing my articles, when it comes to doing the work and staying organized and staying productive and getting the story out. Because that's really how I spend a lot of my time. Now, the benefit of being a writer who loves notebooks is these are tools of the trade, right? You can see my Midori. I tend to work a lot in graph paper. I haven't opened this one yet. Have you tried the Life Clyde? I'm excited to pull that open. That was a gift. I have a trifold from Forest 9, which is an Etsy a company that I wanted to give a try. They're out of Canada, and this is gorgeous. I love this trifold. And these are a few of the things we're going to be talking about on this channel. I'm also going to fill you in on cool things I'm reading about when it comes to analog lifestyle and really using analog tools, notebooks, and pens to ground ourselves and feel good. We're going to talk about how I use my notebooks for writing, and I'm going to offer some product reviews. I use that word loosely. I'm going to let you know how I've used things like the Me Plus notebook, which I love, spoiler alert. My first foray into rings is the Me Plus. I got the slim rings. I'm going to talk to you about how I use that in my writing life. You know, there's great products out there and you're experimenting with them too. And so we can talk about that in the comments, what's working for you, what's not. And I'm going to talk about how I use notebooks to really push my writing forward, to develop new projects, to stay organized in my business, and to publish my work. We'll have a writing tip here or there too, because I'm constantly working on my craft. I like learning, I like talking about writing, and this stuff, the notebooks are a real solid grounding way of keeping me on track. And so I'll share that with you. Mostly, I just wanted to come together and connect with you all about the things that we all love, right? Notebooks and pens and paper, and really using those tools to be present in our lives, to engage with it in a different way, one that maybe helps eases the stress a little bit, helps us to stay more focused and less distracted and just feel better in our lives. That's what I'm trying to do with my writing work. That's what I do on the podcast and Substack, Simply Write. Substack.com, Simply Write with Polly Campbell. And I hope you'll join me to share with me your experiences, things you're loving, things you're not using as frequently, and ways to create minimal notebooks that are a joy to work with, but also easy to maintain. Because right now, at this stage of life I'm in, when it's very full with work and family demands, just the way I like it, I want to make sure I'm using my time wisely and really enjoying the process of notebooking. So we're going to talk all about that here. And I hope to hear from you too as we go forward. You're listening to Take Note with Polly Campbell. I'll see you again.